In this video, we will talk about Halbach arrays and simulating this arrangement inside the finite element software EMWORKS EMAG. Before starting simulation, we will discuss what a Halbach array is, how it works, and why it is used in electrical motors and electromagnetic systems. We will also review its advantages and disadvantages and practical applications in motor design and simulation. A Halbach array is a unique magnet arrangement designed to concentrate magnetic field on one side while reducing it on the opposite side. Instead of all magnets pointing in the same direction, each magnet is magnetized differently. This creates a stronger and more controlled magnetic field in the desired region. The main idea behind the Halbach array is magnetic field concentration. By rotating the magnetization direction of each magnet, the magnetic field combines constructively on one side and cancel on the other side. This improves magnetic efficiency and reduces flux leakage. So using this structure will allow us to reduce the back iron size or even remove it in the low flux density side. In the rotors that we use this structure, the need for back iron will be reduced or removed. In electrical motors, a stronger air gap magnetic field produce higher electromagnetic force between the rotor and the stator. This can increase torque density and improve motor performance without increasing the magnet size. Halbach arrays are especially used in high-performance motors. Halbach arrays provide several important advantages. They improve magnetic field utilization, reduce unwanted leakage flux, and create a smoother magnetic waveform. This leads to lower vibration, less acoustic noises, and better efficiency. They are also effective for reducing cogging torque in permanent magnets machines. Although Halbach array offers excellent performance, they are not always easy to manufacture. Each magnet requires a specific magnetization direction, which increases manufacturing complexity and cost. Mechanical retention at high speed can also become challenging. Now we are going to create a Halbach array of permanent magnets to see the field distribution in the air. First, you create a project and rename it to desired name. For example, Halbach Simulation EMWORKS. When the project is created, the first step is to create the geometry. You can import the geometry or create a new one using Autodesk Inventor. In the Autodesk Inventor, go to the assembly and create a new part. We want to create the first magnet and make the other magnets using pattern option. After you click on OK, you have to select the plane that you want to work on. Select the XY plane and use the 2D sketch to create a circle around the center. You can choose circle with the center point, draw the first circle and the other one with the same center. We want to change the dimensions to make them exact values that we want. The first diameter is 80 millimeter and the second one is 50 millimeter. Now we want to draw a line in the middle of these circles, make them constructive, and we want to create a section of these circles to be used as an arc of permanent magnet. Set the angle between the lines that we created. It is 30 degrees and we want it to be at the center of the axis. So set the angle between the axis and the line 15 degrees and we will draw a line between two circles. we want to just select this part as the arc of the magnet. So after we draw the line, we will go to the trim and delete the additional lines. Now we have the 2D sketch of the magnet that we want, and we want to extrude it to have a 3D object. Use the extrude with the both sides and 10 millimeter for the depth of the magnet. Now we created one part of the magnet, and we want to use the pattern to create other 11 magnets too. Before using the pattern, we want to create a user coordinate system for magnetization direction of this magnet. In this way, when we use the pattern, we will have the coordinate systems for each magnet too. The first click will choose the center point of new user coordinate system. We will choose the edge or one of the vertices of the magnet, and next click will define the X direction and Y direction. We will choose the X and Y direction of the coordinate system correctly, and then the user coordinate system will be defined correctly. Click on return to finish the addition, and as you can see, the coordinate system defined on the edge of the permanent magnet. Now let's create other magnets using the pattern option. Select the vertex that you want to use the pattern and select the objects that we want to duplicate. And we want to create 12 units of these magnets, each 30 degree. So first let's select 12 magnets and set the angle between the objects as 30 degree. Now we have 12 magnets with 12 user-defined coordinate systems. Before moving forward to the next step, we need to create a region for the simulation too. So we will go to the assembly, create an air domain, and use the 2D sketch for creating a rectangle bigger than all parts of the simulation. And then we will extrude it to have a cubic air. We created the air, and now we can check the visibility to hide the air around the magnets. All the geometries are created, and we can save the simulation to move forward. For measuring the field distribution, we have to create a study. We will use the magnetostatic simulation for measuring the field around the magnets because we don't have any movement or excitation in this simulation. Click OK to accept the default values of magnetostatic simulation. And the first step is selecting the material for each parts. All of the magnets are created from permanent magnet, and we have just an air domain. Let's select all the magnets, and by clicking on apply material, we will see the material center of the software. You can find many materials like permanent magnets with different grades categorized by their vendors here. In the permanent magnet folder, let's find the desired material for our magnet. We will choose the neodymium magnet with N35 grade. You can see the coercivity, relative permeability, remanence, and other properties of the magnets here. Then you can select the material for air by choosing the favorite material. Now we have to select the direction of each magnet, the magnetization direction for all magnets. We want to create a Halbach array like this photo. So we will choose each of them by using this pattern. Some of them are magnetized in the R direction in the cylindrical coordinate system, and the magnets between them will be magnetized in X direction of their own local coordinate system. Right click on each magnet, go to the coercivity direction, and in the coercivity direction, in the first magnet, we will choose the cylindrical along R. You can select to have reverse direction or direct direction along R of cylindrical coordinate system. By clicking on OK, you will have the first magnet completely magnetized. For the second magnet, we have to choose a local coordinate system that we created for this one. So choose the local coordinate system and select the UCI that you created for this magnet from the drawing tree. Find the coordinate system, select that, and you will see that coordinate in the blanked window. Now we can select in the Cartesian coordinates along x-axis. By clicking on Show Preview, you can see the magnetization direction to be sure about the correctness of the setting we selected. For all other magnets, we will choose the same workflow to magnetize them around their own local coordinate system or along the R direction of global coordinate system. In this way, by showing the magnetization direction symbol, you will be sure about the correct setting of all magnets. We will set the coercivity direction for all magnets, and then we can move on to the next step. Use the local coordinate system for the magnets between the R and minus R direction, and this step is finished by setting the last magnet. Now we have all the magnets magnetized correctly, and we can set the mesh operation to see the number of mesh elements and its accuracy. As you can see, the mesh elements are very small and we are good to continue the simulation. Click on Run to solve the simulation and see the results. After the simulation is done, we can create the field plots of this geometry. The first plot that we want to create is magnetic flux density with vector plots. As you can see, the directions of vectors are correct and as we defined in the coercivity direction. For better visualization, you can change the property of the field plot. In this plot, we only plotted the field on magnets. Now we want to include the air flux distribution in the plot too. So click on the air and click on Show button. Now if we plot any field, the air is included in the plot to use the 3D fringe plot with section clipping. We want to see the field distribution in the cross section of the whole environment. As you can see, the field is plotted on the section that we used, and we can change the view angle of the plot using the front plane. The field distribution on the magnets and fringing in the air is visible here. To have a more clear view, we can define the maximum and minimum field values in the chart option tab in the property page. By reducing the maximum value, you will see a more clear result and fringing the field in the air. You can change the type of field plot by using the options on the sidebar tool. If you click on vectors, the field plot will be changed to the vector type instead of fringe type.